Sitting at my table today was a woman who had been married for 30 years, who said when her husband left her, she had no idea about how to handle their dollars. She didn't know what she had, she didn't know where it was, and she knew nothing. And this was something that struck me as exactly why we're doing what we're doing today. It's so that no young girl, no young woman ever gets into that situation.
As a teenager, we had savings accounts, and when we worked, we learned how to save money and we learned how to give tzedakah, and we learned the value of money. I knew to save money for things that I wanted later in life. So as a teenager, I worked and I saved money so that I was able to pay for traveling on my own, years later. But I had a goal in mind and was able to save up to it.
I learned that even when you fail, it's really important to get yourself back up and keep trying, because that's the only way you'll be successful.
I actually think it's a bigger challenge for girls, because there's a lot of messages out there in terms of designer clothing and having the right kind of jacket or the jeans from the right place or the accessories, and I think that is there's a lot more pressure on girls to conform in that way, and it's a lot more expensive. A pair of boots with a nice fleece lining, $200, and a jacket with the right kind of brand name, is another $100, and I think the kids feel a lot of pressure to have the same attire, as all the rest of the girls.
I learned the story of Moira Lebec and how she became successful starting from very little.
So moms and daughters, I encourage all of you to work hard, find your dreams, and most importantly, fail. Thank you.
You know what, I have 2 young daughters, and I think it is so important for young girls to understand money, to understand what it takes to get to where you're going, to understand struggle and hard work, and also to really find their dreams and be able to be successful. You know what, I think that women everywhere are living in a world which is full of hardship and struggle. And so I think that JWI really gives women some opportunities and a foundation of knowledge to be able to succeed and get further than they would otherwise.
I think there are a few things that I wish I'd known about when I was a teen about saving money, and I think one of them is really setting priorities and just making choices, really hard choices about what I want and how much I'm going to save. I don't think saving was even in my vocabulary back then. It was all about spending. And I think I wish when I was a teen I kind of looked at a career path that enabled me to actually make more money. I think the field that I chose, I think, was a little limiting in terms of how I can actually make more money. And so looking back, I probably would have selected a different career.
I learned that in order to succeed, you could fail, and then you just have to keep trying.
As a teenager, what my father kept emphasizing was that I needed to be able to make a living if I got divorced. It wasn't that I would need to make a living and be able to support myself. It was if I got divorced. And I feel like my daughter's growing up now knowing that she needs to be able to make a living and support herself and not ever feel like she needs to be dependent on a husband. It so turns out that I did end up getting divorced, and thank goodness I had my training and my skills, and I was able to support myself and make choices.
JWI does financial literacy work because it's important. It's important to young women, it's important to their mothers as well. And what we've been doing this year across this country, we've had a chance to engage women for them to learn about options, choices, and the details, knowing how to make a decision, how to provide for your future, and how to know what things cost. the examples that we have shown to people, training that is coming through our programs is something that really makes a difference.